Lawless, good to see you. Looking extra sharp, but as good looking as you are today, Chelsea will come to pop Potter, blowing bubbles. Oh, is it you two playing each other this weekend?
Yes,
yeah, we are.
Monday night.
Yeah.
Are you confident in that, Lawless? You confident in beating Chelsea this weekend?
It all depends on who's available, because Paqueta, Bowen, and Somerville are all 50-50 at this moment. Without them, I'm not confident. If we have them or two of those, I'm confident with the way Chelsea are at the moment and the way that we're looking. Do you know what I mean?
What stadium is it at?
Stamford Bridge.
It's at the Bridge.
You're confident of going to Bridge and getting something?
Well, just with the way Chelsea are playing now, I think it's the best time to play.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
With the players we've got, I should be there as well in person. And last time I went to Stamford Bridge, we beat them with David Martin in goal after we got that clown Roberto out. So yeah, man, the stars are aligning. You know what I mean? I just need those players fit, because without them, mate, it's going to be long.
Yeah. Are you a little worried? Are you apprehensive about playing West Ham at home, Don?
I'm just not confident in the team right now, Terry, man, because the performances aren't terrible, because we're still creating good enough chances to be winning these games, but we're just not putting teams away. So we'll most likely score first against West Ham, and then we'll just keep missing, let them back into the game. Second half will come out as if we've been smoking at half time. And then before you know it, they'll just score from a set piece or something like that. They'll just score a scrappy goal. Someone will make a mistake at the back. And before you know it, Chelsea have dropped points again. It's literally been the same story the past 6-7 games. And I'm bored of it. I'm honestly bored of it, bro.
Yeah, I thought the Man City game still to this moment makes me so angry. I'm not, just because you went 1-0 up. In fairness, I've seen a lot of screenshots of Jackson getting blamed for not scoring that goal, but it was Palmer's overhit pass. You should have gone 2-0 up. But then you just sat back. There's no press. Every team that has pressed City has either beaten them, taken points off them, or been close to doing it. I couldn't believe Chelsea's approach was to sit back and be timid. I was watching it shouting, what are you doing? They're there for the taking.
We literally sat back from the front and we had a high line. What sort of combinations that? Because all City were doing was watching our attack and that, oh, you're not going to press us? All right, cool. Over the top to Haaland in all that space in the world against defenders who are average. Let's be real, defensively. Chalobah, when people were getting gassed about Chalobah, it was just a thing to do with Clearlake. Oh, yeah, he's got one over you. And I'm like, bro, we need better than this guy. I don't know why you're not getting happy that he's coming back. This guy should be at Palace and we get better. You know what I mean? Right? That was poor from Maresca. One of the worst tactical games I've seen from him this season. You know, and he needs to fix up because he's not performing right now as well.
I think it was the worst one done. Which reminds me, by the way, Lawless, how dare you? How dare you just message me that day? Like I'm the one who set up Chelsea, saying, "Oh, you predicted this, predicted that."
You did.
I
You
think
were hyping
everyone,
them, man.
Dallas, even City fans were shocked at the way Maresca was was coaching that game, because in the first 30 minutes, it looked like Chelsea was going to win that game. And then they just stood off for the rest of the game. And it was a weird one where it's like their line was so high, yet I don't think there was any intensity in their press or any intention at all to win the ball in advanced areas. And as you said, Don, I mean, Pep played, he was a long ball merchant for the game and he won.
Yeah.
And we never really say Pep plays like that. I mean, like, I'm saying that as a joke, obviously, call him a long ball merchant, because he doesn't really do that a lot. But he did
All
that
their
against
goals
you
came
guys.
from long balls.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, where's the adjustment here? Are you gonna press or are you gonna drop that line a little bit? Because I saw nothing. You were just caught up in the middle, just doing absolutely nothing. And it was so weird, because I'll tell you why. We watched that PSG game just 3-4 days before that, when they put 4 past City. The blueprint was there. Like, it was one of the easiest games to approach, because you have so many sample size of the City team losing recently. They're like, oh, let me just copy one of these guys. There's so many of them, so many examples. It was much harder.
I literally went through with LB. I went through so many examples when we previewed the game on my channel with LB, going through multiple games, including the PSG one. Even West Ham cut them through the midfield. I know the West Ham lost 4-1 here, but for their goal, for their goal, they came from the midfield. They whipped it in. They scored from across. But go on, carry on, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like, it was a shock to me. Obviously, it's a little bit of banter between us at the end in the group chat when Lawless say, "Oh, but you said this, but you said that." But no, seriously, the way that game switched after, it wasn't even 30 minutes. It was probably a little bit less than that. But the way the game switched after that, I was just shocked. And I'm happy you said that this is probably one of Maresca's worst games. Obviously, I don't watch Chelsea as much as you do. And I said, yo, I actually think this is Maresca's worst game from what I've seen. I don't think I've seen him coach a bad game like this.
It was so bad.
It took away the whole thing in the beginning of the season. Remember when they beat you, when you guys were like completely not ready yet to play under Maresca, and then eventually you found form? I thought that was your get back moment, because
exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the first game when we played them, he gave City way too much respect. Like it's like he's still scared of Pep. Like the first game he played Palmer and Nkunku on the wings, Enzo on the 10. It didn't work because tactically the lineup wasn't good, right? The lineup for this game was actually good, because before the game I saw LB was like, yo, these lot. It looks like they've put out a strong lineup. We was all gassed in the group chats and whatnot. But then you go out there and you decide to give these lot all that respect again. You know, when Palmer got the opportunity to pass it to Jackson, it came from us pressing, right? The goal that we scored, it came from us pressing. All their goals came from them, from Chelsea sitting back. You know, they had the ball that went over the top to Cucurella. Madueke was just ball watching. You know what I'm saying? That was over the top. The second goal, again, it went to Haaland. I don't know what the fuck Sanchez is doing. That was another long ball, right? The third goal they scored, another long ball across to Haaland. He pins it down. He plays it to Foden. You know what I'm saying? So it was so naive from Maresca, and I honestly don't know, like what you're saying, Staffy, why he didn't adjust mid-game. You know what I mean? He gave Pep way too much respect. Way too much respect, because they don't deserve it right now. Let's be real. They don't deserve it.
I don't know if it's respect or just inexperience. I'll be honest, bro. He just looked. He looked like a rookie. I've seen
this guy manage games a lot better, bro. Because start of the season, I was telling you how proactive he's been in terms of his subs, the little tweaks I'm seeing mid-game. Because I was even saying to you that he's quite similar to Slot in a way. Because Slot mid-game, you see him tweak things, right? But the problem that I've been seeing ever since Fofana and Lavia haven't been in the team, it's like he overthinks too much, and he's a little bit scared to trust those guys to do what he needs them to do. Because if we started Fofana and Lavia in the game, I reckon we'd be pushing a lot from the front. You know what I mean? Because Fofana, he allows us to play that high line, right? Lavia, he allows us to play that high line, because when you lose the ball, he's going to just break up play and help Caicedo. But when you haven't really got those profiles there, you can't play to the best of what you want to do, if that makes sense. But still, with what we had, it was still enough to be a little bit braver. And we weren't brave enough. We weren't brave enough, bro.
I hear you.
No, I agree. 100%. You weren't brave enough. And look, City, even the other night when they played Club Brugge, I think Chelsea are a better team than Club Brugge. You know, the second half,
Brugge gave them a game.
That they did, and City are still a good team. That they're in around the top four. They're in the knockout stage of the Champions League. They're a good team still, even though they're nowhere near their old level. But their games are actually amazing to watch now, because for the first time really in the last decade, their games, every single one of their games, barring Ipswich recently, are competitive. And I just felt that Chelsea, as they were far too timid, as you say. Yeah. This is Nick Hunter, who's a Chelsea fan. He says, our next 5 games will make or break our season. Do you agree with that, Don?
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. If you look at who we've got in our next 5 games in comparison to Forest, Newcastle, and City, we've got the easier fixtures, man. You know, so I'm looking at those fixtures that we've got, Terry. I'm expecting 4 out of 5 wins, because we've got to make up these points that we've dropped. 5 out of 21 points is fucking abysmal.
Who are you facing?
Bro, we've got let me read some of the fixtures right now that we've got, Staffy. So they're easier than everyone else around us, yeah? So we have West Ham next at home. Then we've got Brighton away. Then we've got Aston Villa away. Then we've got Southampton at home. And then we've got Leicester at home, right? Forest, Newcastle, Liverpool, they're all playing each other. So they're going to take points from each other. And they're playing Arsenal, some of these teams as well. So if we do our job against these teams that we should be beating, we should start creating a gap again.
How have you done in the last month against teams you should be beating, though, Don? That's the problem.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Lawless. I'm just saying that the facts are, on paper right now, I'd rather have these games than the teams that Newcastle are not about to face, because they've got some tough fixtures coming up, bro. All them teams there, they've got some tough games, man.
Joshua Jack here says, Don, do you believe Rory Jennings' theory about Palmer?
What's his theory? I don't listen to that guy.
You should. I think you should. I think he's very good. But he said that he believes if Chelsea miss out on the Champions League football next season, he believes Cole Palmer will be playing Champions League football. So he believes that Clear Lake will cash in and make profit on him, and sell him in the summer.
I mean, if you've got a team that's got 150 million, they want to slap down, come. You know what I'm saying? Come.
150, yeah.
Bro, listen, it's locked into the 2030s, right? How much do you think they're going to be asking for Cole Palmer right now? Are you crazy?
Yeah. And no one's
150
paying
million
that.
starting. Of course, no one's paying that. But I'm saying it's going to be a king's ransom if you want to take this guy out of Chelsea right now because he's locked in for a long time.
Yeah.
I hear that.
I think that's Rory being dramatic.
Of course.
Hey, listen, we'll win the Europa League. Maybe we'll
Palmer's
have a
not going
conversation
nowhere,
with him.
I would say
The
the thing with Rory is there is
That's why I said
definitely
we'll win the Europa League first.
there's certainly an element of there is a little bit dramatic. I agree, but Rory, the consistency I'd say with Rory is that he doesn't trust your ownership in any way, shape, or form. So from his point of view, he thinks they're there purely to make money, and if it goes into a fourth season of no Champions League football, he believes that the right offer comes in. And the thing is, you and him are not even too far apart. You think, well, yeah, 150, get it done. His theory is if somebody offers 90 or 100 million, they might say yes. So and you don't believe they would go as low as that, but Rory just thinks they'll look at it as, well, that's doubling our money, and that's what we're here to do, is make profits and make money.
At the same time, do you know how much money Palmer's bringing into the club right now commercially, bro? Right, this guy is basically
how much?
I don't know how much, but he's bringing a lot of money for the club commercially right now. This guy's on everything, right? Even the Premier League, they post this guy all the time. He's arguably right now the face of the Prem. I see Palmer on everything, bro. All these adverts and that, all of that. It helps the club.
Bigger than Salah? Do you think like bigger than Salah, like face of the Prem, that level? That bigger than Saka?
Bro, listen. I'm seeing
commercially. I'm saying commercially.
I don't know. I don't know the figures, so I'm not gonna just make things up. But I know right now commercially, Palmer's definitely bringing in a lot of money for the club, innit? You know, and like I said, listen, everyone that's skeptical about Clear Lake, bro, I'm not gonna fight for these guys because at the end of the day, they've given them a reason to be skeptical. Because even me, like I've said, Terry, the main thing for me is that they're early into their ownership, so I understand the mistakes, but now it's on them to rectify it. That doesn't mean I want to fight tooth and nail for these.